Hey everybody, and welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I am Jonathan, your host, and here at RedBeard Outdoors, I talk about faith, family, fitness, and the outdoors. On Tuesdays, you get gear reviews, tinkering Tuesdays, and then on Saturdays, you get those awesome conversations that I get to have with some amazing individuals. Some of them are experts in their field. Others are average Joes like you and me that are striving to be successful and have an awesome story to tell. So, with that being said, today being Tuesday, I have an amazing gear review for you, something that I've been testing out here for a little bit and have really enjoyed it. I'm always tinkering, trying to find a better way to improve my archery skills and shot process and just the gear related to that. So before we hop into that review, guys, which is going to be on the Stan Onyx C, the clicker right there. Look at that. We'll talk about that in just a second, but before we get there, guys, I wanted to give a thank you, a big thank you to you guys. Things continue to grow here. It's thanks to you. We've got an amazing competition going on right now in RedBeard's Fit Crew, and I wanted to invite you over to RedBeard's Fit Crew. We also just started the summer challenge with First Phorm Outdoors, so definitely join both of those groups on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, that's okay. Leave a comment down below or send me an email, shoot me a message on Instagram, whatever you prefer, and we'll get you in on that challenge. It's just running from, basically we start today and end the 10th is the last day to be able to get entered into that challenge. Also, the challenge for RedBeard's Fit Crew starts on July 10th. So if you want details on that, definitely let me know. Check out the links down below so you can go join those groups. Also, guys, I wanted to give a shout out to, of course, GoRuck, one of the best companies that I've had the pleasure of working with. You guys that maybe are wanting to start your fitness journey, maybe you're on your fitness journey and are looking to build out your gym a little bit, whatever it may be. Maybe you're up in your game with your fitness apparel, your shoes, your boots for rucking, for TAC, Total Archery Challenge, Mount Archery Fest events, things like that. Definitely go check out GoRuck. Use the code RedBeardRuck to save some money. I love the sandbags personally. I'm building out my own gym piece by piece, and those sandbags have been crucial, along with the ballistic trainers, which are my favorite for lifting. And then, of course, the Mac V2 boots for Total Archery Challenge, Mountain Archery Fest, etc. So, again, you guys have questions about that, leave those down below, or shoot me an email or a message, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now, let's get into what you guys came for. You guys came for the Onyx C. So, the Stan Onyx C. So, I've shot multiple different thumb releases in the few years that I've been in archery. Me personally, let's get started with why I shoot a thumb release, because there's nothing wrong with back tension or hinges, or if you're using what would be an index finger release, etc. There's so many good releases out there. I want you to know you don't have to switch to a thumb, but I will let you know why I switched and why you should consider it. I personally get a better anchor whenever I use a thumb button hinge style release. A handheld release is what I would call it. The reason being is I can take these two knuckles right here, and excuse this stamp, we went to Lagoon. If you guys are in Utah, you understand the Lagoon is I guess a park here in Utah. So you're going to see that stamp, guys. Hasn't washed off. It's not permanent, but it's pretty close to it. Either way, I like taking these two knuckles right here and anchoring them into my jaw. That allows me to get a better, more consistent anchor point. That's something that is really key when it comes to accuracy with your bow. Every little thing matters. Where you anchor your nose on the string, where your eye is looking through the peep, where the housing of the sight lines up with the peep, etc. You want that to be as consistent as possible. So I choose thumb buttons. I choose handhelds, I guess would be a better thing to say, because I shoot everything from a hinge to a thumb button. I've done back tension before. I've backed away from that and stuck more with hinges and thumb buttons. And this is the newest thumb button that I've been trying out here. Now, what makes this different? So you guys have probably heard Joel Turner. He's been on the show here. We had an amazing conversation about this release as well. not on the podcast, but he has had some since, explaining his mindset as to why he and Stan Releases worked on this release together. A couple of highlights here, guys. First off, this is going to be one of your higher end thumb release buttons. So this is all US made. So US made company. You have in this one, you've got the sage green and you have the silver or gray. Those are the two options. The only difference is the color. And then there's a heavyweight model that is coming out, and that's going to be brass. If you prefer that heavier weight, which a lot of target archers do, that would be your option. It's heavier and it's a lot shinier too. I personally like this sage and black. Looks pretty sweet to me. Okay. So those are some highlights there. It's also very smooth. If I can capture that on the camera. All the edges are beveled out. This portion right here, your third thumb is able to be moved based on whatever angle you're wanting it to be at. There's a lot of adjustability here, guys. So this release, what makes this stand out amongst thumb buttons, other than, US made, smooth as all get out, one of the top tier ones because the sears are just clean and crisp. But what this stands out, and I'm going to try and capture this on the microphone, is that as you anchor right here, I'm going to put tension here, guys, but as you anchor here, and I like to rest my pinky on that little makeshift fourth, I don't pull any tension with that pinky, I just rest it there. But as you anchor, and then you start rolling you hear a click. I'm going to do that again. Ever so subtly. So if you've ever shot a hinge before that's got a clicker in it, this is easily a third the sound of a normal clicker that I have shot in the past. And so with that being right there up against your ear, basically, you are going to be able to hear this, and it's also not going to be spooking off whitetail and other animals, right? That's the theory behind making this so quiet. But just listen into that click. And then once you hit that click, all right, here I go, is what Joel says, Joel Turner. So he teaches to come focused into your shot and to have a whole shot process. So when I get to that click, just like with a hinge, you get to the click and then you say, here I go. And that's when you start pulling. So you pull this elbow right here, the one holding the release. You pull with that tension there. My thumb is wrapped. I like to wrap my thumb pretty deep. Some people like to put the pad of their thumb, however you prefer to do it. I like to wrap it deep. And so I'm messing around with this thinner peg, and I'll show you some of the things that it comes with. But anyway, you get to that click, you say, here I go, and then you go. And that's the fire. So, and then once you fire, that spring loads back down, right? Super clean, crisp firing mechanism there with the sears, etc. Guys, I'm telling you, this thing is outstanding. It almost, and I can't say that it eliminates the need for a hinge, because it doesn't necessarily. You can still punch it, pull through, etc. But you can treat this, at least the way I was using a hinge for practice, you can treat this release for that very same practice mechanism. So you've got that, you can set the click to however far away from it actually releasing or however close you want it to be. You can set it hot or cold, just like any other thumb button, but you set the clicker and then you set the actual firing mechanism. So there's a bunch of adjustments here and here as well on the bottom. And it's just super adjustable, guys. You can set it up however you like. I've got it set up the way that I would like. So again, some of the highlights. You've got this right here, which will allow you to hook onto the D-loop, and then it will stay hooked so you can leave it hanging, which is nice. I like the idea of hooks rather than clamps. I feel like they release a lot cleaner and a lot more consistently than the kind that pinch onto the D-loop. So you get the benefit of being able to clip it onto the D-loop and letting it hang, but also having the hook being the release. Okay. Other features as well. Again, you've got total adjustability there on where you want the thumb button to be based on this right here. Those two screws, you can rotate it out in, this is the longer peg, and I guess I'll break out the box. So it comes in this awesome little box right here. It's beautifully displayed right there on the front, the Onnex clicker. So it lines up exactly. If you've already got a thumb button, you won't need to change your anchor or anything like that because it lines up with the Onnex thumb. It comes with a forefinger if you prefer forefinger. Right there. Comes with a thicker, well, I'll just break it out of the bag here. Let's see what we got. So the thumb peg that I've got on it is the thinner thumb peg because I like to wrap it in deep so I'm not manipulating my thumb per se whenever I am shooting or firing off the release. Let me get these little pieces out here. Okay, so you've got a thicker thumb peg. Let me show you the comparison here. So this is the one that I have on it. If it'll focus for me. And then this is the one that you could put on it right there. Perfect. Okay, so you can do the thicker one. There's also this shorter peg. When I say peg, I'm referring to this portion right here, right there. So you can put that one on if you would like, which would in turn make it shorter. So depending on wherever you want it to be, that's really what it boils down to. Do you want it to, to have this fatter thumb button? Do you want it to have the shorter peg? Whatever you'd like. And again, you can rotate it in and out based on these two right here. So again, recap, guys. The clicker, the Onnex clicker. It's a thumb button release that has a click that goes off before your release actually goes off. So the way this whole thing works is, you see that sticking out right here? You push that in. That sets the mechanism so that this hook will not open. Okay? Put it on the D-loop. Push that little portion down there. It hooks on the D-loop and will stay there. Get back to your anchor point. You roll to the click. And then you say, here I go. Pull. Boom. And it goes off. The way Joel Turner explained it was that click eliminates basically a lot of people get, I wouldn't say necessarily anxious, but you can call it anxious about the tension that you're putting on the thumb button. So a lot of people were having issues like you'd get to a tournament or in a hunting scenario where you get back here and then you're putting that pressure, what you think is some pressure on this thumb button right here. You're putting pressure, it's not going off. And you don't know how far away from going off that button is. But when you have this, that little click right there will tell you, okay, we're ready to go. Let's go. So that pre-tension that you're putting into the thumb helps draw you back into the shot and lets you know we're ready. We're getting serious. Here we go. Right? So whatever your shot process is, I highly recommend you go and check out Joel Turner's Shot IQ course. It works for everything from rifle to pistol to archery, but he talks a lot about archery because that is a big passion of his, and he absolutely loves traditional bow. But he definitely goes over how to use, especially this, because this is what he created with the Stand C. But he goes over how to use any release, even if you don't want to purchase this one, any release, and use it the way that he explains so you can get a better repetition on your shot consistently. That's the key, right? So that when you do get in those crazy heart rate spiked scenarios, there's a big bull walking out or a big buck or whatever it is that you're hunting walking out in front of you, you don't freak out and just send it and not know where the arrow went. That's the whole point of it. So again, guys, Onyx C, this is going to be my thumb button for the next little while at least, and I don't see getting rid of it, to be honest with you guys. It just fits the idea of a hinge and a thumb, has perfectly married them together. I guess my experience with this so far, I've shot it at my range that I have here at home. local range at the shop, at the bow shop. And also, I took it up to Mountain Archery Fest. I've had other people shoot it up at Mountain Archery Fest. I'm going to be taking it up to TAC. So if you guys are interested, and I say TAC as in TAC Utah in a couple weeks, if you guys are interested in picking one of these up, one of these Stand Cs, I would highly recommend, first off, if you're local here to Utah, go to Wilde Arrow right here, this symbol. Go to Wilde Arrow. Best bow shop around, guys. I'm telling you. Go check them out. Go get you one of these stand clickers. Go test it out in the shop. Get your hands on it. Feel it. I guarantee you, you're going to end up walking out of the store with it. So go check out Wilde Arrow. Shoot them a message if you're wanting to order one. Give them a call. Definitely go check them out. I will leave the link to their Instagram right here down below. And then, guys, I'm telling you, if you're up at Total Archery Challenge Utah, definitely go check out Wilde Arrow as well. There'll be some for sale. You'll want to take this up on the mountain, try it out, and shoot it. I guarantee you, you're going to love it. This thing is awesome, super smooth, great action. The weight is good. It's not too light and it's not too heavy. The sears are amazing. I haven't found something that I don't like about this release yet, to be honest with you. I guess the only thing that I wish would be that it would maybe come in orange. I don't know any companies that do an orange release though. But other than that, guys, honestly, this Stand C Onnex is fantastic. Go check it out. Again, I'll leave the link down below for Wilde Arrow and anywhere else that you can, check out Wilde Arrow and get one of these stand releases. Outside of that, guys, hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning into this. If you would, subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment down below. Any questions that you have on this release, I'd love to answer them. Come join us for the challenges that we have coming up. RedBeard's Fit Crew, First Phorm Outdoors. Guys, have an amazing rest of your week. Enjoy your summer. Happy 4th of July. Today being 4th of July. Happy America's Birthday, Independence Day, whatever you want to call it. Go celebrate, make memories with your family and loved ones. Have an outstanding rest of your day. And what better way to do that than to buy a US-made Stand Onnex clicker. Have an outstanding day, guys. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.